This is like dollar store Eric Voorhees. I'm just gonna call it now. Hi everyone, welcome to Nicole Reacts, where I react to online marketing guru trainings that are on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary are that I've owned a marketing company for the last 14 years. In addition to that, I've started a couple of other non-marketing businesses. So I've seen marketing both from the needing services side of things as well as the providing services side of things. So today's person, another Jessica find, we have a spreadsheet now. Love that for us, is this guy named Darin Kid. It looks like he's a network marketer trainer. So please appreciate that this video comes from a playlist on his almost 80,000 YouTube subscriber channel. And the playlist is called Social Media Network Marketing. So he's really into having the keywords in his stuff. Today's video is called How to Find Prospects on Facebook Using These 10 Strategies. And it's got a fire emoji, so you know it's going to be good. And it's approximately 25 minutes. So with snark, I'm guessing this video might be 45-ish. He's promising 10 different strategies. So I'm hopeful that it's not just create relationships and produce content, which is what most of these social media network marketing trainings are. So maybe there's some social media tips in here for the rest of us. All right. So first things first, he's not doing the guru trailer or the background. It looks like he's in like a dining room or something. And I see that he's using StreamYard. How do I know this? Because my titles look the same. So he's in StreamYard, and so he's probably live streaming this content. And yeah, let's see. Any bets on whether he like saved some screenshots of examples or something that he's going to put on the screen? I'm betting he's not. I'm betting he's going to just be talking at the camera. Although I will say, I bet he doesn't do the annoying, let's adjust the camera for 5 minutes thing. All right, let's see.
Hey everyone, this is Darin Kid. Hope you're having an awesome week. I want to welcome everyone. I know I'm broadcasting on multiple platforms. I've got this right now on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. So do me a favor, depending on what
Twitter and Periscope are like the same thing, but okay. You can add another thing to sound important, I guess.
Which platform you're on. Like it, subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube. If you're on the Facebook page, make sure you do that as well. And on Periscope, love for you to follow me. And I'm excited about sharing some information with you today on how to find prospects on Facebook. And I've got 10 different bullet points I want to share with you. But do me a favor, as you're joining, let me skip over here to the comments and let me know where you're watching from.
What's funny is in StreamYard, you can actually see people's comments and you can showcase them on the screen. I don't get a lot of comments during my live streams, or else I would do that. But it's funny how they're like, oh, I'm going to read the comments. Like, why not, I don't know, put them on the screen and make something visual. But
hey, Amanda, long time no see. Yeah, I still don't like to run. I know we used to run together in class, but I still don't like to run. But anyway, where else? Let me know where you're watching from, everyone. Amanda, where are you watching from? Where are you living now? Hey, Brenda, welcome. We got Dietrich watching from Pennsylvania. Hopefully I said your name right. We got Ken from Vancouver, British Columbia. All right, North Carolina. Awesome. We got Tony from Kentucky.
They must be commenting where they're from. I'm doubting he's going to these profiles and checking, but
let's see who else we have. We've got Kim Yada Harper from Detroit.
That's a good way to eat away some time, though.
Got Shay. Hey, what's up, Shay? Angel from Vancouver. All right, Debbie from San Jose. We got Mary Jane Fargo from New York. Great. Well, listen, we're gonna.
Yeah, why are we saying some people's full name? I don't know. It's so interesting. I always feel like people haven't necessarily consented to me saying their name, but if they leave some kind of comment that's publicly visible, I feel like I could share that and say, oh, you know, yeah, Mary, I still hate running or whatever, but
we're going to get right into the content. But first of all, I want to make a quick announcement.
We're going to get right into it. I spent 2 minutes talking to people you can't see or don't know. And before we get into that, I'm going to probably talk for 5 more minutes about something else.
I don't know how many of you follow Gary V, by the way. Gary V, he definitely bad language, but he's got great content.
Bad language. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, okay. This guy might be kind of religious. Okay.
And he's one of the top social media people in the world. And Gary V talked about how, listen, the future is text. One of the things that he says the future is text. And so what I wanted to do, because email, a lot of times they're going to junk folders, they're going to spam folders. But I want to be able to communicate with each and every one of you, because I'm going to be going live every single week. We're going to be putting up a new blog post every single week. And I'm going to give you training and content that's helped me completely explode my brand and my business when I was a distributor in the network marketing world. Because for 20
he was a distributor, but he's not anymore. So ask yourself, if it was so profitable and he was doing so well, why is he not doing it anymore? Could it be that he makes more money selling this kind of crap? I'm guessing it is.
28 years, I was a distributor. And people saw where I made a lot of money. I built massive teams, personally recruited 1,000 people. I had thousands of personal customers. I was recognized on stage in front of tens of thousands of people with top retention. And the only reason I'm sharing that with you, it's not to brag, it's just to share with you. I had the right mentors that taught me how to do it and how to do it right. And but the part of the story that a lot of people, they don't get.
Why doesn't he say who these mentors are? If they were so valuable to him and helped him grow his company, why not drop some names here? Why not? Oh, it's because he wants to be your mentor. He wants to sell you his program. Oh, okay. So his mentors demonstrated at least a one-person track record with him. And he's not going to say who they are, but he can help you. Got it.
Is the 7 years that I struggled and that I failed, and I go, I'm done. And the good thing is I'm just kind of stubborn. So I was too stubborn to quit. And I just knew that if other people could have success, I could have success, even though I didn't feel like it at the time, because I was bankrupt, had my car repossessed. I couldn't make it through college. I only made it through a year and a half of college. I went to the doctor for.
So part of me wonders, like, why didn't he make it through college? I'm not saying every educational experience is for everybody at all, but as somebody who was a college professor for a second and taught for a second, I can tell you that if a student tried, if they actually like turned in the assignments and made an effort to do the work, they were getting at least a C based on my grading rubric. And I feel like most people are like that. Like if you see effort, even if somebody is really bad at something, you're going to help them find ways to be successful in your class. Maybe like you find out like, okay, they'll do better with an oral exam versus a written exam. Like you're going to make accommodations. So when someone says I tried something and it didn't work, I always want to hear why it didn't work. But I guess it makes him relatable if he didn't finish college, if he's trying to get other people who didn't finish college to buy his program, his education that he's offering.
For depression, I remember being put on antidepressants, which made me feel even worse, like a zombie.
Don't listen to this guy. He's not a doctor. If you need antidepressant medication, it does not need to make you feel like a zombie. You might need to try a few medications before you find one that works well. You'll do it in conjunction maybe with other therapeutic measures. But yeah, okay. So he's hitting all the things, right? I was broke. I didn't finish college. I was depressed. He's trying to be super relatable here. 3 minutes and 6 seconds in, and we said hi to people, and we're hearing his sob story.
I have a lot of hope. And they were getting ready to foreclose on my house. I couldn't feed my kids, couldn't support
foreclose on the house. Okay. He was on the brink of divorce. That's the next thing he's going to say.
My wife. And I mean, I just knew that there had to be a better way. And I was frustrated going, man, what took these people so long to show up in my life? Like, I wish, where were they for the first 7 years that I struggled? And so people see now what I've been able to achieve. And that's why I love doing what I do, because you can do exactly what I did. And so on my lives and blogs and website and things like that, I want to be able to help you get to where you want to be sooner than later. So let me know in the comments below if that sounds good to you. If you're like,
let me know in the comments below if that sounds good. God, these people ask for so much engagement. Listen, if you want to leave a comment on this video, I appreciate it. But I'm not going to be constantly asking you for it. I know he wants engagement, so this video does well. In particular, during a live stream, the comments help make it visible to other people. But oh my God.
Like, hey, look, you know what, Darren? I would much rather achieve my goals sooner than later. And by the way, let me just give you a little.
Okay. So he's jumping right into the content, but he's giving us a little bit of time. Okay. So we're a little past 3 minutes in, 3 minutes, 51 seconds. Okay. I'm going to guess that at the 7-minute mark, he is going to start getting into actual content for this presentation. So I'm going to pause here, make your own mental bet as to what minute mark he's going to get into actual content. I think we're going to be here a little while longer, hearing his sob story, though, and hearing how successful he is now.
Before I get into how to find prospects on Facebook, let me give you a little, just a bonus tip. Obstacles lead to elevation. So a lot of those problems where I used to look at problems as a bad thing, problems are really what force us to get better. They force us out of our comfort zone. And a lot of times that rejection leads us to redirection. And it leads us to a life where we go, man, thank God when I was going through it.
Feels like a sermon.
I didn't think it was that great. But if you have the right philosophy, you have the right mindset, you have the right attitude, you can look back and go, you know what? That was the best thing that ever happened to me.
So listen, when something really bad happens to you, to make it so that you can go forward in life, it is nice to give it some meaning or say things like, okay, well, if this didn't happen, X, Y, and Z wouldn't have happened. You know, I understand how that makes life a little bit more bearable when something bad happens. What he's doing here, though, by trying to give a business training, but giving a sermon at the beginning, is he's trying to reach people who are struggling in their business because they're going to see this as a solution and they're going to buy his product. They're going to join his texting list. I wonder if he's going to keep that on the screen the whole time, but yeah, so I'm still betting the 7-minute mark is when we get into actual content that this video is supposed to be about, which is prospecting people on Facebook.
If I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't have become the person that I am today. I wouldn't have made the impact that I'm able to make today. You will be saying those things. So obstacles lead to elevation. Without obstacles, there is no elevation. And problems are what help us grow to the next level if we have the right perspective and the right attitude. Let me know.
Sometimes problems are just problems, though. Just saying.
If that makes sense. And then if you can do me a favor, if you think someone would benefit from this, make sure to click that button.
Begging for some engagement again. Listen, you haven't gotten into any content. How would I want to share this? You're not starting yet.
You know, and the share button and let other people know about it. Let me know in the comments if you do, so I can give you a few shout.
Share and comment. Oh, 2 engagements. Yeah, ask for 2. Right
outs. But the whole point of that long, whatever I just did, the bonus step there, was text message 3M. I'm sorry, not that. I just gave you the wrong one. Okay.
And I've had it on the screen for 5 minutes.
Let me take that back, everybody. Let me take that back. Let me delete this banner. I just gave you the wrong one. Text message SW. Let me create it real quick. Text SWD to 85775. See, I'm showing you right now that that's what I want you to do.
All right. I'm just curious. Cell phone. Nothing's happened yet. We'll come back if something happens. I'll tell you. I'll keep that open on the side here.
I'm showing you that I mess up. That was all intentional. I'm like, you know what? Let me make a mistake and just show you right now. All right. So text message SWD to 85775.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. SWD to 85775. And you're only going to get text messages from me. And then what I'm going to do is, before I go live, because Facebook, their notifications, if any of you haven't noticed, they're not the they're not the greatest. So this will allow me to shoot you out a quick text going, hey, I'm going live in the next few minutes on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page, so you can join and you can get the information right up front. So let's talk about how to find prospects on Facebook. The reason that I am sticking to this topic, I'm going live once a week and at least giving you some content, because I got so much feedback from the one that I did last Tuesday, I believe it was, on the 16th of June. And so I'm not going to repeat the stuff that I did last week, but go back. I talked about really how to set up your Facebook profile and do things to attract people to you. And, starting out with how to find prospects on Facebook, that's really important, because you are your brand and people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so when they look at your profile on whatever channel it's on, right, they're judging you, whether they trust you, they like you, they want to do business with you. And if there's 2 people in the same company, they're always going to pick the one they know, like, and trust the most to do business with. So know your audience is the first thing I would share with you. Know your audience, because your vibe attracts.
Okay. I don't know if this is actual content. We're at 7 minutes and 19 seconds. So I was about right there with the 7-minute estimate. But yeah. And if you're not sure why the word tribe is problematic, go check the Rachel Hollis Nicole Reacts video. But basically, the word tribe means something to Native people. And so by using it, it's kind of disrespectful of them. So please avoid using the word tribe in your marketing. Thanks.
Your tribe, you know, what are the solutions that you have to people's problems? That's how you know your audience, right? So like, what do your products or your services help people with? And maybe some of you can put that in the comments. Do not put, for example, the name of your company. Do not put any links.
So I want engagement and I want you to comment on my stuff, but I don't want this comment to serve you in any way. Got it. Also, like, so in StreamYard, I have the ability to make, you know, title slides, right? I have the ability to, and when I do live streams where I talk about like, okay, here's 10 tips or whatever, I always make little titles that go with what I'm saying so that people can follow. I'm wondering if he's just going to keep this texting thing on the screen the whole time. But if he has 10 things, I wish he would say, tip number 1, know your audience. Like, and it would have taken him all of 5 minutes to make these banners, by the way. It's not difficult.
But let me know some of the benefits that your products or your services you help people with. Maybe it's better skin, maybe it's better hair, maybe it's better fat loss, maybe it's better energy. But, you know your tribe, what your opportunity, what does that help people with? So know your audience. That was number 1. You go, Darren, why are you starting with that? Because again, it's important. And with that, go back last week and watch the tips that I gave you to make sure you take advantage of that as well. So let's go with tip number 1. Okay.
Okay. Tip number 1, 8 minutes and 6 seconds. All right. So I was overly generous by saying he'd start by 7 minutes, but he started by 8 minutes. So if you had that on your bingo card, you win.
How do you find prospects on Facebook? Well, tip number 1 is you can go to Facebook fan pages. Find people that you like to follow. Find people that you respect, you look up to. Find people that are doing the things that maybe you look up and go, man, I would love to be at that point at somewhere in the future. And that's a great place because when you're commenting, you're liking, and you're engaging on those fan pages, you're going to attract people to you, right? So again, that's number 1. I'm going to go through some of these pretty fast. Then I'm going to stop and go a little bit more in depth on some of the other ones.
You wouldn't have to go through it so fast if you would have just gotten to the point before the 8-minute mark. But
number 2, Facebook suggestions. Facebook's algorithm, they're really good at suggesting people that you connect with that have things in common with you. So that's another place that you can find people that you can connect with that can be potential future prospects. My recommendation to you, whether you're sending a friend request, whether you're, whatever you're doing, do not hit them with a spam link right up front. Right? I know I don't like that when it happens.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's the 3rd tip they always give. They're like, create content, build relationships, don't ask for the sale right away. All these network marketers are like, well, don't ask right away. They never tell you when to ask, but not right away. That's all we know.
Happens to me. And so, don't be weird, be a good human being. And remember, what would you think? How would you feel if people reached out to you the way that you're reaching out to them? And you're going to attract the people that are like you. And what you think is weird, they're probably going to think is weird as well. Number 3, Facebook groups. Here's my suggestion with Facebook groups. So maybe you're in, for example, Kelly says better sleep and better mood. And Shay, great job on putting a bullet point there. I appreciate that. That's going to be one of the tips in just a second. So Kelly says,
just put the comment on the screen. If you can see the comment, other people can see just put it on the screen so we can all see it.
Better sleep and better mood. I know she's in a nutrition company.
I know she's in a nutrition company. Okay, I just want to show you because StreamYard has a little sample comment. This is what it looks like. This is the sample comment, right? So if someone is leaving a comment on your live stream and it's publicly visible, it's going to pull into your StreamYard that way, and you can pick to show it or not. So this guy has like no production value. So I don't understand why he's using StreamYard. He could have just used Zoom and like put this as this little text to the message as his background or something. I guess I can go to more than one place more easily, but he's kind of like underutilizing the tool in my opinion.
So maybe she's joining groups that are interested in, health and nutrition. Maybe it's fat loss, getting in shape, physical fitness. So she's joining those groups. She can, and I'm trying not to give you too much on each tip because some of the tips kind of go together, but follow the guidelines.
I had to work really hard to make 10 different tips. And so I had to make them all physically separate. So if I give too much information, it will, yeah, you were just trying to get to 10.
Right? Don't post links. Do exactly what they tell you to do in those groups so they don't kick you out. Be a good person that people know they can trust. Okay, that will help you get some new connections and some new friend requests. That's number 3, groups. Number 4, interact and comment.
How is interacting and commenting different than what you're doing when you join a group or follow a fan page? Just wondering.
So if you interact and you comment, that's going to get you some attention. So maybe you're liking people's comments that you agree with. Maybe you're replying to people and saying, hey, absolutely, I agree with that. Great point. Thank you for that.
So I feel like just saying thanks or that's great. Like picture if you were at a meeting, right? And you were putting something out there for your team and everyone was like, thanks, that's great. That would be like the most boring conversation in the world. We want discussion, right? We want to add context. We want to bring some additional information. Hey, I read this really great article about this that people in this, watching this video might appreciate. Here it is. Here's the link. Or, this is what I think about it and why, just saying like thanks or great. The only thing, network marketers like these comments because they increase the engagement on their stuff, but it doesn't create an interesting community to have just a bunch of people that are agreeing with you and essentially saying nothing.
That's going to get you some attention as well. So again, it's not marketing is when you reach out to other people, or prospecting is when you reach out to other people. Attraction marketing is you're doing the right things. You're being a good human being. You're providing value, and you're going to have people that start to reach out to you. So that's number 4, interact and comment. Number 5, provide value, whether maybe it's through a post. So if the group allows you to post, don't spam your product name. Don't spam.
How is interacting different than posting? I mean, I know that it's different, but like, how is it a whole different category of things?
Your company name, but maybe, for example, it was like Kelly in a health and wellness, company. So maybe she goes into groups and she's posting articles on how to eat healthy. Maybe it's someone that has a hair care product and they're posting, different things about here's some of the right supplements and vitamins or things to do to have great looking hair. Okay, maybe I need to follow those myself. But find a way to provide value, whether it's through posts.
This is like dollar store Eric Voorhees. I'm just going to call it now.
Some other ways that you can provide value. You can answer some questions. Maybe some people have some questions and you're answering those questions. You're providing value to other people in that group. I did that recently and I had multiple people reach out to me. It was actually a course that I had paid for. We all went into this private group and I just interacted one time with a few people and I had several people message me and send me friend requests saying they wanted to connect with.
Why not give an example of what you posted that made people want to connect with you? I mean, I get that we want to be vague about things. Like you join someone else's program and since you want people to join your program, you don't want to tell people what it is, but at least say like, I posted like a rant about why I think the fitness industry is BS or something. And I shared these articles and then it made people contact me. Just give some context of like what kind of thing it was. You didn't just leave a comment that said, this is great. And had 5 people DM you and saying, oh my God, like, let's talk. What did you say? Give an example, like a
like-minded people. Thanks for the value that I added. It was something very simple. So they're looking to connect with other people. They're looking to network. Can you share a third-party article maybe that gives value? Right? That's another way. Answer questions. Do a post that gives them value in that post. Or maybe it's share a third-party article or something like that. But again, make sure you follow the guidelines of the group. But those are other great ways to have.
I don't get why this guy didn't make title slides. This feels so convoluted to me because he keeps kind of referencing, in the group. Well, you talked about groups earlier. So like, how is this different? Oh, right. We're posting content to the group. So I don't know. a little one sentence text little bar below would allow me to understand what topic we were on without having to remember it.
Attract people to you. Number 6, this is where Shay is going to be highlighted because you can drop notes in the comment section when someone is going live. So if you noticed, a lot of you may be looking, at Shay putting the different bullet points in the comments because you're like, oh my gosh, what was number 2? What was number 3?
You could have done that. You could have done that if you weren't lazy.
And Shay is putting those comments or that recap in the comments. So that way you can go back, he's providing value and he's getting recognized by the person doing the live. And then what happened was everybody's attention just went to who is Shay. So great job, Shay.
Yeah, who is Shay? Are they working for you? Oh, okay. They're doing a bunch of free stuff for you for recognition. Okay.
So you can drop notes in the comment section when someone else is going live. And maybe that person goes, hey, look, you know what? Go to this link. Like for all of you, most people, they're not using StreamYard like I am. But let's say, for example, I go, hey, look, if you want a free download. So for all of you that have not downloaded this, it's completely free, but it's 25 tips to crush your Facebook marketing. If I mention that, then someone put that in the comments. That's getting them recognition. It's giving them value. Another great point. Number 7, friend request. You can send friend requests. Do not do any more than 5 or 10 a day, or what will happen is Facebook will, you can get put.
So you have friends suggested to you, and this is a separate tip where you request friendship. Okay. Also, I spelled his name wrong. That's why. I was trying to go to his free. Oh, don't worry. We'll go to that link after this.
In Facebook jail, not for 5 or 10 a day, but I do believe one of the influencers I was listening to was saying that if you send more than that, Facebook will drop your reach because they're looking at you as probably spamming people.
You are spamming people. You are spamming people. Also, like, I've done social media marketing for almost 15 years. I have never been in Facebook jail. I've never been in Facebook jail. So yeah, if you're doing tactics that Facebook is temporarily banning you, you need to question how you're using the platform.
I saw another influencer, and I would love for some of you to go out and test this out. I mean, this is one of the things, 28 years I was in network marketing. I was able to do extremely well. I knew exactly what was working. I know it works. I know it doesn't work. But what's a different perspective, I used to go, hey, you know what? If they're not in the field right now, I'm not going to listen to them. Well, here's kind of the
Yeah. What is he going to say to this? Because why are you out of network marketing if it was so lucrative?
Advantage of where I am right now, since I'm no longer building a specific company and I'm working with top leaders in many companies and I'm working with companies, I'm able to see what's working throughout different organizations, online.
Oh, so it's almost like if you hired a marketing consultant versus somebody in network marketing to help you market, that you would do better because they would know more about marketing.
Offline, what's working with different companies. So one of the things I would love for some of you to do for me is maybe go test some of these things out and shoot me over a message, how it's working for you. Like, give me a testimonial. One of the influencers mentioned this: when you're interacting and commenting with people,
give me a testimonial.
Go follow them instead of sending them a friend request, because what they're going to do is they're going to go, who is this person? Let's say Doreen. Who is this person, Doreen, that just followed me? And they go click on Doreen's profile and they find out more about her, then they will probably send Doreen a friend request.
Will they though? If they have thousands of followers, they won't. Sorry, Doreen. They have thousands of followers. They don't care if you follow them.
And connect with her. That's why it's important to go back and watch the live from last week that I did last Tuesday on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel and Periscope, because I talk about how to set your profile up where it's attractive and it's doing the right things, where when they do go check you out, they know who you are, what you represent, and they're going to want more information. They're going to want to connect with you. You can send friend requests or you can follow them.
Also, if he had the title slides in the StreamYard deck, like, I can see all the things I have written if it's in StreamYard without having to look down. I keep looking down to see if he's texted me. He hasn't, guys. I think this texting list is totally over. But...
And I love the way this influencer said following them is almost like just tapping them on the shoulder and going, hey, I'm over here. The same thing when you comment or you like someone, their comment on a post or in a group, a fan page, it's like tapping them. but hey, I like that information and they want to connect with you. A bonus point on the friend request, when you do have new connections and you do have new friends, let me know if you're having any aha moments, by the way. Interact with your new friends ASAP. Interact with your new friends ASAP. Number 8, do a live. Okay, we got 3 more. Okay, so hang in there with me. Number 8, do a live. People prefer video over just a traditional post. People prefer. I'm having a hard time saying prefer. And when you do a video, you're being real, you're being authentic, just like me now, right? I've messed up at first on one of the banners that I put up, and then on top of that, I can't speak. They were saying by 2021, over 80% of content consumed online will be video. Yes, it may be uncomfortable. I'm not going to teach on how to do video right now, but doing a live, it creates unique content that is unique just to you. It allows people, we used to have email marketing. You could send someone.
We still have email marketing.
A text, you can send them an email, they have no emotion. And it would take so many touch points before people actually felt like they knew you. Now you can go live one time, right? You're looking at me and you're going, man, Darren's real and he's authentic. He's just like the rest of us. There's nothing special about Darren. I'm looking at him in his eyes.
There's nothing special about this guy. I want to take advice from him.
He likes to have fun. He's got, he likes to joke around. This may be your first exposure ever to me, and you know whether you.
He likes to joke around. Has he said anything funny? Did I miss something?
Like me and my training, or you don't. So when you're going live, you're creating unique content. They're able to feel like they know, like, and trust you a lot faster, sooner than later. Video content is definitely exploding at a fast pace. They can interact with you just like you're interacting with me right now. So Denise says, you're awesome. Oh, Denise, stop. Stop some more. Again, see, you can interact with people. You can have fun with people. You can give them a call to action.
We can't see Denise. You're interacting with Denise. We're not interacting. Again, if you put Denise on the screen, maybe we could see the interaction and feel more a part of it. But right now we're exterior to that as the rest of your audience.
Like I can go, hey, look, if you have not downloaded my free resource that's available to all of you, go to darrenkid.com/Facebook. Hey, if you want to get alerts from me, make sure you go and text SWD to 85775. See, I can give you calls to action and what happens when you're interacting with people on a live, it expands your reach. They can hear and feel your energy, and that's it. That's number 8. Number 9, memories.
Another thing, just so that you know, if you ever watch one of my live streams, I've typically practiced it at least once before doing it. So I make all the title slides, like the text that's going to overlay. I upload any images I think I'm going to reference. I open up a browser, put it in my second screen, and put any websites in tabs that I might want to pull up while we're talking. And I rehearse it before I do it. Sometimes the day before, sometimes right before, but I go through it at least once. And I feel like that gives me a certain comfort with my material and also an ease of delivery. And I feel like this guy he keeps looking down at his notes and then reading them like he did in the last part and then being like, okay, that one's done. I don't know. Just a little showmanship here, guys. If your whole thing is that you're a network marketing teacher or you're a marketing trainer, like, being comfortable with the material is super important. And you can use, the text, the visuals, the overlays, and all of that to help support what you're trying to say without having to remember every single line of what you want to say. Hope that makes sense.
Memories is a great way to find new prospects. This morning, I had memories pop up from, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. Then you can go back and you can go, oh my gosh, this memory popped up this morning, Becky, from 5 years ago. It's been so long since we connected. How are you and your family? And then it re-engages Becky and I if we hadn't talked in a long time. And then with me engaging with Becky.
Oh my God. These people have no shame. By the way, sometimes, and this is kind of silly, I don't know if anyone else does this, I will post a status update in Facebook that is only visible to me so that I'll remember that something happened. And so, like, you know, in my memories years from now, it'll be like, oh, on this day 3 years ago, you had a giant plate of waffles and it was delicious. Like, I don't know, just it's stuff to make future Nicole happy. I can't imagine using them to prospect people. Oh my God.
If we're friends on Facebook, which we are, that's why memories popped up, then I'm going to start being in her feed. Maybe I hadn't been in her feed in quite some time.
Oh,
so then if I'm doing the right thing with my curiosity post, well, we talked about some of the things last week, then she's going to go, hey, by the way, what are you doing these days? Tell me what you're up to.
Oh my God, we can all smell those curiosity posts a mile away. Like, they're like, looks like they're hiding the powder. I'm not going to ask you about what powder you're putting in your drink. I'm not going to ask.
That's number 9, memories. And last but not least, but this is it's definitely an important one to remember, use Facebook stories. Use Facebook stories. Why would you use Facebook stories? One, you have less competition.
I love how this video is called 10 strategies, and all he did was like list 10 aspects of Facebook. There are fan pages, there are groups, there are memories, there are suggested friends, there are stories. Like, how are these strategies? They're just like it's like a list of nouns. It's not a strategy if you're just listing that it exists.
There's the last numbers. I know it's over 150 million of people. It's over 2 billion active users on Facebook a month.
Is it?
150 million are now plus. It may be 300 million. I can't remember if that was the Instagram number, or I know Facebook is 150 million plus. So there's less competition. You're more likely to get seen. It's right at the top of the page and on the app. So that's the best real estate on the app. It's right at the top. It's going to grab your attention. You can get people to interact with you. That's another great point. And then you also can measure. You can't manage what you don't measure, and you can gauge what's working and what's not working. Maybe you put up 2 or 3 different things and you go, wow, this got this many views and this one got so many more views. People like it when I put up this type of content. They really don't pay attention when I put up this content.
And honestly, if I even suspect you're in a network marketing company, I'm not going to ever watch any of your stories on Instagram or Facebook. Because why? Because it's going to show I watched them. And then I'm going to get a weird message from you that, oh, I saw you were watching my story. Like, so I'm just saying, I'm wondering how many other people also actively avoid people who might be selling something. When they post a story, you just don't even go look at it because you don't want to be even going there.
They engage with you. Then you know who's actually willing to engage and participate. Maybe some of your questions. You can have fun. You can use filters. You can do all kinds of cool things with stories. And it creates a little bit of urgency because they're only up for 24 hours and then they disappear. Stories are on the rise. They're exploding. They're growing at a fast pace. You don't have as much competition. They're on the top of the page. You can be creative and get engagement.
Why can't you just remember this? If you actually use stories, like, you could keep in your mind the benefits of using them, right?
You can gauge on what's working. And then people don't trust companies. They trust people. And they want to do business with people they know, like, and trust, like we mentioned earlier. And when you're showing stories throughout your day, don't worry so much about creation. I used to be so guilty of it as well. Going, man, I've got to create amazing content all the time. No, you don't. Gary Vee says people are worried more about documenting your day than creating content that most people can't relate to. It's like a behind the scenes look at your life.
I think what he's trying to say is that people are worried about posting, especially video content that's like perfect and photo content that's perfect, versus just posting it. I think that's what he's trying to say. But I'm a little confused about the Gary Vee, what he's referencing there.
And then when you do post something about what you're doing or you're creating curiosity, they're more likely to reach out to you. So those are the 10 ways to find prospects on Facebook, just 10 simple ways. Facebook fan pages was number 1. Number 2, Facebook suggestions. Number 3, groups. Number 4, interact and comment. You'll get noticed. Number 5, provide value. And we gave you several ways to provide value. Number 6, you can drop notes in the comment section like Shay has throughout this live. We appreciate that. Number 7, friend request and following people, which is something new that I hadn't heard before until I started preparing for this training. When you follow people, don't send them a friend request yet, but you've commented and liked on their page, and then you followed them. Most likely they're going to go to yours and see who you are and what you represent.
I don't know. You could just make a little like one pager and just say, okay, do these things in the following order. Find them and follow them. Wait 2 weeks. Leave 1 to 3 comments on their page for 2 weeks. Like, he could just come up with a way to sort of say this in a more formulaic way. Because right now it sounds confusing. We got to do this, but you can't quite do this. And then you got to do this after. Just, I don't know. You could just make a graphic that was like, here is what I recommend. Here is the order I recommend doing things in and the timing and how it relates to the other things I'm telling you to do. It would be so easy.
Number 8, do a live. Number 9, memories. And number 10, use Facebook stories. Use Facebook stories. So let's.
All right. So another prediction. So we're at 22 minutes. This thing goes 25 minutes. The last 3 minutes are going to be him selling a course or a free download once you send the message. This is going to be sales. Whatever this is going to be him selling his crap for the next 3 minutes.
Let's see if any of you got any value. Let me know. And again, if you want your people to see this, do me a favor, go ahead and share this in the comments.
It's beg for engagement. Let's beg for engagement because our content isn't actually interesting.
Let me know if you did. I appreciate that. It's easier each time you go live. Kelly, you have been a great example. Kelly Carnes, I watch going live. This is a great story, by the way. It's about progress, not perfection. This is why it's good also to stay on the end of the lives that I do, because you never know where a question or a comment may ignite an idea for me to give you that's going to help you in your business. I saw Kelly start doing lives when she wouldn't even get on the screen. It was like, where's Kelly? She's hiding off of the screen. And then I've seen Kelly continually go live over and over and over, because they're friends of mine, her and her husband. Their child is named after me, which I'm very proud. And to the point where she was getting more views than I'm getting on my lives, because she was persistent, she was consistent, and she went from hiding off the camera to all of a sudden she's like doing her own TV show, right? And people are engaging, they're sharing, they're getting massive traction. So it's about progress, not perfection. And she is exactly right. It's going to be uncomfortable in the beginning, but it'll be very comfortable later, especially when your business is exploding. You're getting new prospects, you're getting new recruits, you're getting new customers, your income is growing, your rank advancing. All of these things add up. Ken says, I've not been using Facebook to its full potential. Ken, I'm the same way. You know, I'm the.
You could spend 8 hours a day trying to do all the different things Facebook has to offer. Like, and you could be running ads and you could be doing all kinds of things. I'm just saying that, like, nobody has time to do all things on all social platforms, because you have to do other things in your life too.
Same way. I've been working so hard recently. I've neglected a lot of my social media, which is not the thing to do. Kelly says she goes live at 5 a.m. Kelly, I will catch your replays. I'm not going to watch you at 5 a.m. All right, let's see. Definitely got value. Thank you, Chris. Melinda says lives scare me. Then that means that's probably where we're going to get the most exposure.
You have to do what scares you.
The most value, the most benefit, Melinda, is when you get out of that comfort zone. You know, a comfort zone, it's a beautiful thing, but nothing grows there. Shay says great value. Thank you. Appreciate you from in.
I feel like anybody who says this with a straight face has never been in a circumstance where they're very uncomfortable.
India, I don't want to mess up your name. Yogeshwar, maybe. Gabriel, must now start videos. What's cool is on StreamYard that I'm using right now, I can see all your comments on YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook.
Then
right,
put them on the screen. I appreciate you.
Have an amazing rest of your day. Again, if you did not get a chance to go back and watch the one from last week, go ahead and do that. If you have not downloaded the resource that I have with Facebook, make sure you grab that. We're going to create some new resources for you as well. But I appreciate all of you. Have an awesome rest of your day and rest of your week, and we'll see you on the next training.
All right, so let's check out Darin's online stuff now that we've seen that video. This is the URL he sent us to, darinkid.com/Facebook, redirects to here. Now, Darin's running WordPress, and if you ever wonder how I know stuff like that, there is a website called whatcms.org, but you can also look at the page source code, and literally I just type in WordPress, and there it is, WordPress. So he's running WordPress. I even think I know the form software he's using. I think this is Gravity Forms. And if you're using WordPress and you want to make a redirect, you can actually do it with a plugin. There are redirection plugins. And if you don't have a WordPress site and you want to have a redirect like this, you can usually do it at the hosting level. It's actually not that difficult. It's called the 401 redirect. So if you wanted to search 401 redirect and how to do it on Wix or Squarespace or whatever, there's probably somebody who's written an article about how to do it. So this is the page he wants us. I love you guys, but I don't want this guy to have my email. He already has my phone number. By the way, I did get a text message from him saying that I was on his list and I would hear when he went live. So that's going to happen. I'm just curious about it. Maybe I'll talk about it in another video sometime once I've gotten some text messages. But so here's the benefits of Facebook. But I just want to draw your attention to one little thing here where he says, my favorite tips that helped me build an audience of over 200,000. Looks like you only have 164,000, Darren. Did you lose 400,000 people since you wrote that copy? So interesting. And I thought, like, I wanted to kind of see his stuff over time. It looks like Social Blade. He doesn't even have enough traffic that Social Blade is trying to track him. So I'm trying to like find him. There we go. I can't spell this guy's name to save my life. Yeah, doesn't seem to be coming out no matter what I type in. So I don't know if I just don't know how to use Social Blade or what, but I'm guessing that he maybe doesn't have enough traffic that Social Blade even cares about him. But I will say, though, he hasn't seemed to run any ads on here. But let's see more about this page transparency. Organizations that manage this page. Okay, none. All right, fine. Page history, people who manage this page. So we see that he's got at least one administrator in the Philippines, and there's 4 administrators here in the United States. Okay. Not as many as Jessie Lee had. She had like over 20, but you know, this guy's looks like he's also producing less content. Maybe we can be generous and say that Darren was, when he said 200,000, he meant his 164,508 Facebook followers added to his 33,168 Instagram followers. Maybe that's what he meant. So what did we learn from Darren? Well, we learned about 10 things that exist on Facebook that we probably already knew about. We learned that things like stories and memories and suggested friends and all these other features on Facebook, if we look at them the right way, can be used to prospect people. We learned that we shouldn't prospect people right away. And we learned that we have to be consistent. And I guess the sort of side thing we learned is that, you know, he doesn't necessarily trust Facebook notifications. So maybe we should get into text message marketing if we want to reach people, and then we can text them when we're going live on the various social platforms. So, and I guess we could say StreamYard helps us go live across multiple social media platforms at the same time as a tool, even though he didn't use like any of his features. Oh yeah, grifter's going to grift, and apparently there's multiple places on Facebook. I think the grossest part of that video was using Facebook memories to prospect people. Because think about it, like if someone comes up in your memories, maybe it was someone that, you know, you're like, oh, I went on vacation with this person. I haven't talked to them in a couple of years. Like it's these like kind of moments where you could really take advantage. And if you wanted to revive their relationship personally, you know, it would be a very genuine connection, but because it's being used in this gross re-engagement way so that they can become your prospect. Yeah, kind of taken the purity out of that one for me, but ew. Thanks so much for watching. If you have a guru you want me to react to, or even a specific video, you can leave it as a comment on this video, or if you're more shy, you can use the contact form on our website. There's a whole Nicole Reacts playlist on the YouTube channel, which you can check out. And I'd love it if you subscribed. Really trying to get to 1,000. So I appreciate your help with that. And we'll see you next time, because there are infinite marketing gurus. And Jessica started a spreadsheet for us. And yeah. As these people retire or go away, there'll be new ones talking of, someone will always be talking about marketing and trying to sell you their slick, gross stuff. And if I even stop one of you from buying it, then it is worth it. Plus, honestly, these videos are really fun for me to make. So I hope that comes through as you're watching. Thanks so much. See you next time, and have a great rest of your day.